Hi guys, Thai Terror here reporting in for another episode. And boy has it been a busy week. It has been pretty tiring, yet very rewarding. For you see, I was fortunate enough to have a special access pass to the Edinburgh International Film Festival. Now this is the first film festival in my life that I have ever been to, and I really enjoyed it. The standards of the films shown here are higher than their mass-marketed counterparts, showing how much passion and creativity was put into the making of these films. So let's just say it was the 2 week of pure movie bliss. Now I saw the total of 9 films. Granted, it wasn't as much as my colleagues, but these 9 films are all great cinematic work. So without further delays, these are the films I saw at the Edinburgh International Film Festival. Now the first film that I saw was Killer Joe, starring Matthew McConaughey as Killer Joe. Now the story is about this redneck who, after owing money to a bunch of mobsters, decided to kill his own mother to get her very large sum of money out of her insurance. So to do this, he hired a detective named Joe Cooper, or Killer Joe, who also happened to have a sideline job of a hitman. That's pretty much the premise of the film. I don't want to give anything away because this film you need to see. In fact, every film I mention in this video need to be seen. Now I have a little bit of a hard time defining the genre of this movie. Was it a black comedy? Or was it a drama? I would say it's the combination of the two. And both of these elements comes together perfectly in the film, with neither the comedy or the drama outweighing each other, but instead go together in a perfect balance. It was witty, it was intense, and it was brutal. I cannot ask for anything better than that. And the one thing that really stands out is Killer Joe himself. Matthew McConaughey's performance was top notch. I mean seriously, dude, stop showing up in stupid movies like Failure to Lunch or that new stripper movie that's coming out, and concentrate on role like this because it suits you perfectly. His voice, his mannerism, his look, everything came out so frighteningly natural. McConaughey successfully embraced the body and spirit of Killer Joe. It was a true privilege watching him on screen. His performance was so good that from now on, if I see Matthew McConaughey, I'm gonna think of his role in Killer Joe. Now I find it kinda hard to actually say I enjoyed this movie. The reason for this is because there were parts that was brutal to the point of sickening. But it was a very well executed scene in terms of cinema and I enjoy every moment of it. You know what? Screw it! I really like this movie and I recommend it to anyone who actually appreciates good cinema. Now the second film that I saw in the festival is called The Mirror Never Lies. An Indonesian drama about a little girl who lost her father, who refuses to come to terms with his death. So she confines herself with a mirror that she believes will show the image of her father, who she believes is still alive, while shutting out the voice of her mother and her friends, who tries to help her come to terms with her father passing. The films also deal with the subject of the inevitability of change and how one should come to terms with it. There is also a very subtle environmental subplot, which fortunately wasn't shoved down our throat. Instead, using the beautiful imagery of Indonesian island as a way of convincing people that nature needs to be preserved. Now what I really like about this film is the fact that it wasn't forced. The performance in the film came out as being very natural as opposed to an annoying melodrama. It also gave us a look into Indonesian costumes and culture, which I found very interesting. A very beautiful and touching film, a rare gem in the Southeast Asian cinema. Okay, on the side note, Thailand really need to get that shit together right now. Now the next film I saw is a martial art from Hong Kong. That really pushes the boundary of storytelling in a martial art film. This movie is called Wu Xian, or Dragon as it is known in the UK. The movie starred Donnie Yen of the Ip Man fame and Takeshi Kenichiro, the half Taiwanese, half Japanese Asian pretty boy. Now this movie wasn't an all-out action as many would have expected. The movie instead concentrated on the plot and the dramatic elements of the film. The movie deals with the concepts of sins and fate, and how they are both entwined within the webs of karma. Now the story of the movie is about an investigator played by Kenichiro, who came to a quiet town to investigate the death of a notorious bandit, who was killed by a seemingly harmless looking man played by Donnie Yen. The movie also have a very nice investigative angle, with flashback of the crime scene, and x-ray vision that show if you punch someone hard enough in the temple, it will either paralyze or kill them. Now as I said earlier, this film is very plot heavy. And that is what I like about it. It adds more depth to the character in the film. It isn't some cardboard Chuck Norris or Steven Seagal like character. The character was deep, complex and interesting to watch. It also shows that martial art film doesn't need to solely rely on action scene. A martial art film can be phenomenal with a good plot. So if you like a beautifully choreographed martial art film with an intriguing story, Wuxian is for you. Now the next film I saw is called God Bless America. And damn, I enjoyed this movie way too much. So the story is about an average American man who got sick and tired of the stupidity and vanity of modern society and decided to go on a killing spree who he deems to be the scum of society, namely teenagers, annoying douchebags, asshole political commentary, and hate groups. Not only was the film so goddamn fun to watch, the social commentary from the main character was also the strong point of the film. Everything he said was really smart and it gets to the point and it actually pinpoints what is wrong with society today. Although his method of fixing that part of society seemed a little extreme. It was hilarious and it was violent. Well, not as much as Killer Joe, but it was still pretty violent. The film also fondly reminded me of Idiocracy, a film by the creator of Beavis and Butthead, Mike Judge. While Idiocracy deals with stupidity, God Bless America deals with the downfall of humanity and morality. A very entertaining and informative film. It also indulged in my dark fantasy. So yeah, I would recommend this to everyone. Now the next film that I saw right after God Bless America is called Shadow Dancer. This dramatic thriller film set in the 90s is about a covert operation of the MI6 as they try to unravel an IRA terrorist plot. Now the film is comparatively slow paced, letting you absorb in the character depths and the plot and the atmosphere of the film. Now I find this very enjoyable to watch because as you know and understand more about what is going on in the film and the characters in it, you will be more invested into the film as a whole. And in my case, that is what makes the film good. You care about the character, you care about the story. And this movie flawlessly accomplished that. Although I struggle a little bit with the first 15 minutes of the film due to the fact that I'm not very tuned to the Irish accent. But this soon came to pass and I was able to enjoy the rest of the film. Language is never a barrier. So yes, a very well done dramatic thriller film. I would recommend this to fans of realistic spy fiction. Now the next set of film that I saw is called the McLaren Animation 1, 2 and 3. These 3 1-hour-long separate screenings consist of more than 30 short animation from up-and-coming UK directors. And it is my utmost pleasure to say that creativity is still alive and well. With times and budget constraints, these directors shows that they can tell great magnificent story with only 5 to 10 minute time span. The visual was also very stunning. No film are alike. You will find one that makes you laugh, you will find one that scares you to death, you will find one that makes you reflect on society, you will find one that blows your mind, you will find one that makes you feel like you're on drugs, and many more. The visual in these short films are also amazing. Whether it's 3D or 2D, whether it's crisp and clear, whether it's dark and abstract, these directors found the most interesting and creative way to tell their story. You can see the passion they put into these short animation. I am at loss for words here. It is stunning and it's beautiful. And it kind of gives me hope in humanity to know that there are still people who value creativity and passion over commercialism. Out of all of the McLaren animation I saw, I love all of it. It's different, it's unique, and it's a damn shame that only a handful of people saw these films. You wouldn't see this kind of creativity coming from big budget studio. So if you missed the McLaren animation this year, you missed it. Well, you can wait for another year, or if you're lucky, they might release a special DVD collection with all of it inside. And that's pretty much it for my outing at the Edinburgh International Film Festival. A bastion of creativity and passion in cinema that none can emulate. So many great films, so little time. It would be no exaggeration to say that I enjoyed every film I saw in this festival. I would also like to thank the University of Glasgow for giving me the opportunity to attend this festival. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed, and until next time, สวัสดีครับเฮ้ยพัก Did I forget something? Nah. Alright, time to check out my new song and new video game. First, I gotta turn all this crap off. Okay, close that. Close that. Close that. Holy shit, a new Total War game! Okay, maybe next time. Close that. Too long, didn't read. Asshole. Hey, wait a minute. Oh, god damn it, I forgot Brave.